Hello everyone and welcome back to the Palace Zoo. On last episode I talked about making a peafowl enclosure and that's exactly what we're doing today. Now this is the last enclosure we will theme in this very classical style with the limestone walls and basically the thing we've been going for with the last enclosures. And after this one we're getting a bit more creative. Especially for the bigger animals, make some more verticality based enclosures for the giraffes and stuff, so you can touch their faces and yeah, stuff like that. Now for the peafowl enclosure, I wanted to do something a bit different than last time. I wanted to make an indoor viewing area as well, where you can watch them sleep when it's cold outside. So yeah, that's what I did here. The curvature. Half a circle is basically gonna be the viewing area with glass, where guests can see inside. Now I chose the peafowls because we've got an animal from each region now. The tapirs from South America, the camels from Asia. Yes, it's Asia. I said Africa the last time, but it's Asia apparently. Didn't know that. I mean, they live in Africa too, but these ones are from Asia, like Mongolia and that part of the world. And then the flamingos, they are from Africa. Well, they're from everywhere, like I said, but they also live on the African coasts. So yeah, peafowls, India. India is the one area which we have a couple of animals from, so I thought that would be a nice section of the park with one big enclosure, and then maybe some other animals that could live there. And those habitats will also be a bit more sophisticated, you could say, because these are the old ones, canonically in our zoo. So pretty small, but updated. But I mean, not that special from a architectural point of view. I might change them later. People gave me some feedback that it wasn't really good, the enclosures, without any constructive criticism. But yeah. If you guys have any feedback, please let me know, because then I can implement it. I just built the best zoo we can, right? So yeah. Okay, here I'm starting on the inside section. So there's also a restroom building in here. Yeah, always handy. I might actually put a staff room here as well, because there's only one or two now, and apparently that's not enough for all our employees at the moment. So yeah, I might update it a bit later. So the teamwork inside is a bit tricky. Not tricky, it's a bit time consuming. But I tried my best. And it looks good in the dark in the end, so that's always nice. Here's the restrooms. Never put just one restroom building and then just only make that block the building, because that's realistically way too small, of course, for a restroom facility. Yeah, okay, more trim work here. Actually really happy with this little habitat for what I'm going for. Of course, it's not too extravagant. Yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, the roofing was a bit tricky as well. Keeping with the same style of the flat roofs and the copper roof in the center. I actually wanted to do it a bit more modern initially, but it didn't work out with the mixing of styles and what I was going for, so that's for a later time, I guess. Now, someone on Reddit actually gave me some feedback on the hedge maze we made. I made last time. I said they were too square, so I actually thought of a way to improve this. I'm gonna place cypress trees at the edges, maybe in the middle a bit. That way, it looks a bit more organic instead of just square hedges. Now, I hope you all had a happy Christmas. I mean, this is recorded in advance before Christmas, so I hope nothing bad happened to the world in the meantime. Now, I had an amazing Christmas last year. Yeah, obviously not this year, but okay. I'm thinking about doing more hills to the back side of this park, for just scenery's sake, because well, Austria is kind of hilly, right? Vienna, just hilly, not that mountainous. But in the end of this video, I will make a little hill, like what I'm going for. Also to hide the new guest spawn location because, well, the entrance building of the standard building isn't really my taste and doesn't fit this park at all. So I deleted that. I didn't know you could delete it, but you can. But you can't delete the paths the guest spawners spawn on. So that's annoying. So if Frontier could fix that, that would be nice. Oh yeah, here's just the interior of the little building with some Indian themed props. Mostly because we don't really have anything else besides Asian and this, yeah. So Peafowls are from India, so that's why I'm doing this, and it's also a bit of a conversion area to the Indian area. So next episode, I'm probably gonna start on a reptile house in the South American area. I'm really looking forward to that, to experiment a bit more with indoor areas. It's also gonna be a bit more tricky, and it's gonna be a bit more modern. Maybe not the front facade, but the building behind it. And maybe make some backstage areas, because we don't have a lot of those yet. And I really want to optimize it for our staff. But yeah. Okay, here I'm making a little intersection area for the parking lot and the park itself. So yeah, I've built these paths next to the castle for the main march of people coming into the zoo and that don't want to visit the palace. Because you also always have people with different interests, so yeah. So this is a little kiosk, I would say, with information and drinks on the other side. Not too big, not too small, very kiosky styled. I've also been thinking about what to do with the main palace. Because right now guests won't really be around it because there's nothing to do for them. So placing Peafowls down there would be an option, but it's kind of tricky. I tried it a bit, messed around with it, but it either ruins like the artistical point of it, with like, I could make like guard houses to fix that, but it looks a bit strange, and especially for what I'm going for. So I think I just might keep it like this, but like put a drink shop there, or put like sheep in the mountains, stuff like that. But then again, those sheep are not good in the heat, so yeah, maybe some information stops. Realistically, it would be a museum, so maybe some souvenir shops, stuff like that. If anyone has any idea for that, let me know. I wish we had horses or something that I could make a stable, or just what's it called, petting zoo animals in general. That would be amazing. A little small petting zoo building. Not in this project, but maybe. Okay, more of those pink flowers I like, with the yellow. So it's this area is starting coming together a bit more. I probably will also do something like this for the other side, just to make it a bit more grand. And I'm probably gonna make an extension on the palace on the other side too, because now it's just one big building. And realistically, this would be more of a complex or a campus. Well, a palace of this size at least. So here I'm building the parking lot, because people need to park their cars. And I'm using the asphalt path texture. Now on Planet Coaster we actually have terrain textures that you can just fill in with, and that's in my opinion a bit better. It's a bit more versatile because you can just fill in the blanks. And also for hilly stuff, it also always works. But no, we don't have those in Planet Zoo, so I've had to use this one. So yeah, people can walk over it, but it's hard to control guests' movement, of course, without barriers like we have in Planet Coaster. But maybe one day, I'm still praying for it. So here, a little bus stop, bit modern. I like it, not too grand, shouldn't be too grand. I used the sign and lowered it down here for the bus stop sign. Pretty straightforward, basic technique. So yeah, I hope you like stripes, because you'll be seeing a lot of these stripes today. So this is an area where you can drive, and yeah, it's basically useless in the game, but for like I like realism to a degree. So I tried my best to inspire myself that this could be a real place, and it also makes it more enjoyable for me to mess around with it, with managing it later on, because I really want to optimize this soon. Right now I'm just focused on building new areas, but I'm gonna make staff rosters and all whole bunch of stuff. Probably in just one episode, I'm gonna do all the management stuff. So this is the size of the park. Not too big. For my Jollywood series in Planet Coaster, I was a lot bigger. I think the scale is a bit different actually, but yeah. Messing around with the pathing here. I really like that we have the curb texture that is the same as this path texture, so I can be a bit more versatile with shapes. I mean, I'm not using it here, but just in general. Now, I actually forgot to make like disabled parking areas. I may do that next time. I hope someone made like a disabled parking icon for underground with basic shapes. Otherwise, I'll do it myself. But in Planet Coaster, I used UGC, and we don't have that in Planet Zoo yet, so that's like a bit of a challenge. Same with the parking, I say that, traffic signs, because there are so many of them that came with the studio spec in Planet Coaster, but yeah, they aren't here. So I really hope they may just implement stuff like that for earlier realism freaks. Yeah, so here's the actual parking area. Pretty straightforward, classic layout. Different than Jollywood. Jollywood is really inspired by Disney, where you can park two vehicles behind each other and then they can just ride out in the same direction, and it's all very streamlined. This is a more of hide and seek, where's a place where I can park. More of driving around, a bit more old, because well, it's just a parking lot for a zoo and a park area, right? So yeah, so more stripes here to ease the way of steering in this area for bad drivers. Yeah, I guess. And also looks cool. Like, I actually thought about doing this. Yeah. So, thanks for me. There's a copy tool in Planet Zoo. Imagine if there wasn't one. Oh my god. The series would be a lot longer and more boring. But yeah, okay. I decided to place some trees to keep it green, keep it healthy. All those carbs, parking areas. Okay, yeah, little foresty area now in the woods. Because well, I teased it a bit, I guess. Teased in the hedge maze area next to it. I wanted to have some more of that, so it really is like you're walking through a forest before you're in the zoo. Well, not too big, but just a little parky area with trees and not as manicured as I said in the last episode. A bit more wild and more rocky rocks, different trees, and I think it turned out really nicely. I'm probably gonna do something like this for the edge of the park too. Probably not as much paths, but just to make it look organic, because now it's really still a bit in boxes and stuff like that. Yeah. Now also for an idea after this park. Which realistically, I said 2035 last time, it probably will be finished in like February or something. But I want to make like Arizona based safari ride, because I really liked it, like the New Mexican, maybe New Mexico, or like Latin influenced buildings in a desert area with like all sorts of animals. Just a couple of episode project where you can realistically ride with your own car through it. But of course that doesn't work here, so I need to make a safari ride. Just something different than a European temperate climate, because I'm starting to get way too used to it at this point. And I want something new, because I've seen so many good recreations in the North American biome with the mountains and stuff and the pine trees. Some people are so talented and making really cool stuff, and I find that challenging more in this type of biome where everything is a bit more flat and a bit more cleaner, or like less rugged, and just the general areas in that general plants in that area are just a bit more exotic to me. Feels like I'm playing Red Dead Redemption then, instead of what's this, The Sims. Yeah. So here I'm building a big mountain. Or a hill, depending on where you live. We don't have a lot of mountains here in the Netherlands, so well, yeah, it's a hill over our entry road, and that's also the way to cover up the spawning place. Here I'm making a tunnel, and I really like that new tool we got to make the tunnel. But yeah, just covering up the spawning area and also the ticket area because, well, I really can't find a good place for it at the entrance area yet. But yeah, just doing some trim work here. And I just wanted this place to look more organic and less manufactured. I think we're making great progress in that regard in this episode. And the next episode will be more focused around that reptile house, amphibious house. Which I'm not entirely sure how to make yet. And our little Arctic project is also coming up. I'm not sure when I'm gonna have that finished, probably in the new year. Oh yeah, also I was reading through some old comments. And apparently Wout de Jong, he said that I can replace individual pillars of the habitat barrier to thinner stuff. So it doesn't have to have those big pillar boxes. So I might look into that, see what looks best. Thanks for that tip. Yeah, so here I'm doing some final trim work. And then I don't know what's going to happen next. Oh yeah, here's another electrical facilities. Because, well, apparently it's hard to give power to such a big parking lot without having one in the middle. So I need to make a solution for that. Maybe I'll have to make a power facility in the middle of the parking lot. But yeah, okay. We've seen this building before. No, we haven't, but it's basically the same as the toilet building we built last episode. Yeah, keeping in the same style. Because why make it harder than it is, right? So a bit terraforming here, bit painting of the ground. 3 there, 3 there. I mean, yeah, okay. Yeah, some rocky rocks, because, well, then guests can sit down. Yeah, you know what's up. I probably gonna skip a lot of like terraforming stuff in the next episodes when it's too similar. Yeah. Oh yeah, here play some soil because I forgot last time. Also here we're filling up this little circle. And oh yeah, here's the main road. So this is the access road. Schönbrunn is in the middle of the city, well, on the brink of it. And this one isn't. I decided because I don't feel like making a whole city next to it. That's a bit too ambitious for me, so it's gonna be in a sort of forest environment, but still, it's still in a municipal setting, I would say. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I'm just gonna place some trees next to the road for now. But maybe if some people have good tips, I can implement that stuff. So yeah, more lines here, because the posse needs to merge into the main road, so... And cars can't come here, so yeah, I thought about this. Okay, here's our little kiss and ride section, as I call it, for our taxi drop-off, where people can drop off guests to the palace. And so there's now a bus stop area, a taxi area, and a normal parking area. And we still need to make the disabled parking and the electrical parking, because that's woke these days, electrical parking areas. Okay. Here's the other entrance, other road exit. It's also a way to like make the roads go somewhere. I mean, they magically disappear into the ground, but it's more believable than, well, they just end. Yeah, some curbs here. Yeah, and here's the lines of the road, so you can overtake in this street. I'm not a road sign expert, so if someone really can improve on this, let me know what to do. Yeah. So it turns out building parking lots and roads is pretty boring, and it's also pretty boring to watch. So yeah, let's skip that. Okay, now we're back to placing rocks, our favorite thing. Well, yeah. So I use temperate rocks, or that are found in temperate climate. I don't know if that's the correct term, but okay. Rocky wall. I really like the rocks in this game. They're far more natural than the one on Planet Coaster, which makes sense because those are fiberglass. Well, not always, but in theme parks they often are. But yeah, these ones are real, and they really blend well with each other. I don't know how they did it, but like every formation just can look natural and organic. That's something I really liked. So I mainly did the front area here, because it's a lot of work placing down rocks, more than you would think. But I'm probably just gonna do that in the end, or when I build an area next to the back of it. I don't know. So yeah, it's a little tunnel for the road to go into and the guest to spawn in. And see, so many rocks. Okay, are we done? No. Okay, yeah. Painting the rocks, because rocks need rocky texture, and then some soil here, and then oh yeah, finally placing down the trees. So I didn't want to place too many trees because that would look a bit strange. Still looking for that balance I talked about earlier, placing down the foliage. But yeah, okay, that's basically it for today. So I hope you enjoyed. Bye!